This is the Mossenho. This is a large bamboo flute from Bolivia. And the interesting thing about this one is that it would be quite a lot longer if it wasn't for this bit of plumbing here. Basically, this pipe here with the mouthpiece takes the air down there, through there, and then down to the part that makes the sound, the fipple there. And actually, it's quite a stretch already, but you'd be off here somewhere without that. This is a lovely kind of, and when I say it sounds hollow, I mean that in a really good way. It's haunting also. Deep sound is because it's very broad piece of bamboo, which means it has a slightly weaker and slightly restrained upper octave, but the lower octave is really nice, and it's great for very moody melodies. These are normally in the key of C, but extending down to low G. So the bottom note would be the same as the bottom note on a violin. It's a particular favourite of mine. It was used a lot in the soundtrack for The Mission because of that liquid, sort of haunting, slightly husky sound. The Mossenho.
The quena flute from the Andes. A flute without a mouthpiece, made out of different material. They have been found made out of bone as well, condor bones, and we got them in different sizes. You haven't got a mouthpiece, but a U-shape notch up there. These are authentic cane from the Andes. Then we got the next one up, which is the quenacho. This one is in the key of G, and the quenacho is in the key of D. And the difference you can hear now.
If you've already seen Mauricio's excellent demonstration of the quena and the quenacho, this flute is called the Pinkulo, which is actually, it has a recorder-style mouthpiece, unlike the quena, which is a notch flute, which means it plays a bit like a shakuhachi would, where you need an embouchure to make the sound. This is a very pure-sounding flute. It's made all over South America with various different names, but Pinkulo is the most common name. And you get very, shall we say, thin ones like this, which favour a very pure piping upper octave. This one here, you will see, it's a lot fatter, and it has very, very large holes, which means the sound is big in the lower octave. But the upper octave doesn't have quite the range. It's quite husky, but it's really, really great in the lower octave. So that's two different types of Pinkulo, a sort of longer, thinner one that gives you a great high octave, and the more stubby version, which gives you a great and really husky and hairy lower octave. This is called the Taka, and this is Peruvian, also found in Bolivia. It's got a very pure sound, and because of the way it's constructed, it gives you pretty much a full 2 octaves. It's a really great ancient tradition, the way these are cut in a square shape with a cylindrical bore and this lovely carving around the upper end of the instrument. That's called the Taka. This is one example of the Native American flute from North America. Now these are normally not tuned in a standard 8-note scale or 7-note scale. They have various different types of 5 or 6-note scales, and because they are have a very wide bore, they don't really have a second octave, so they feel in many ways more like an ocarina than a flute. Very calming, very meditative instrument. I like it very much. This is a Aztec flute. I am unable and will remain unable to pronounce the Aztec name for it, so I'm not even going to go there. Anyway, virtually no upper octave again, but nice, husky, pure, and really characterful sound. Again, another one not to drop, but yeah, lovely instrument and steeped in history, I think you could say.
And we got pan pipes, which is believed to be the oldest instrument in the world. These are Andean pan pipes, and this size are called tojos, and they are used to play really loud outside in the mountains and in a very percussive way, like this. And even louder. We play them melodically, like this. That is the range of the tojos from the pan pipes of South America. The chulis, smallest set of pan pipes from the family of Andean pan pipes. They are the most commonly played in bands in South America. They sound like this in a normal blowing kind of way. You can also play softer than that, in a softly manner, like this. Usually, the pipe comes in sets. The tuning here is G. So the players split the set, and you got a partner that plays half of the set, and you play the other half. And when you play on your own, you jump from one tube to the next. But the proper way, traditional way, is by having one player with one set and the drum, and the other player with the other set and the drum.
Right, we're on to clay flutes and ocarinas now. Ocarinas made from terracotta and bone and wood have been around for thousands of years all over the world. And it's interesting that they should have developed in China round about at the same time as they developed in South America 3,000 or 4,000 years ago. They're beautiful things, very fragile. Be careful not to drop them. They normally only have a range of just over an octave because they don't overblow the way a modern woodwind or something like a recorder would, because there's no outlet. This is just like a cavity, and that's why they have this really resonant sound. A sun and moon ocarina, very low pitch, very, very small range, but lovely sound. Lovely thing. Like a lovely thing to have and to hold and not to drop, hopefully. In terms of more practical, you know, the smaller kind of potato type ocarinas, as they call them, they're a bit like a ball, really. You give this little loop here, so you put it over your wrist and don't drop them. You can normally get just over an octave out of these. Slightly more unusually is a wooden ocarina, but it's the same principle. It may not be a ball, but you know, it again, has no outlet other than the hole that it's, you know, one of the finger holes that in some cases will be all closed. Looks more like a pencil case, I know, but from the sound, it is clearly an ocarina.